Hello and welcome to DTV. I'm your host, Michael Davis, for today's look and talk with Cody Biggs, who is a county commission candidate for District 3 in Knox County. Cody, thanks for being here today and welcome to DTV.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, so today is actually the last day of early voting. So I'm sure you've had a busy time out there on the campaign trail, giving lots of speeches, shaking lots of hands. But so I just want to start with asking you how things have been going. And more importantly, what has drawn you to run for elected office and to serve the public?
First and foremost, thank you again for letting me be here. But to answer that, it's been fun. It's been an experience getting to meet the people of my community, of Knox County, getting to learn what they want in our community, just getting to hear things that can be done for ourselves, for others. It's just been a great experience. I think that I've got some hope in this campaign to see a little bit of new opportunities, some progressive ideas that people are not being able to share with the with the local public. They need to have a voice that they can say represents them. They're not getting listened to. See change from that, and actually say, I've listened and here's how we're going to make things better.
Okay, great. So tell us a little bit about the 3rd County Commission District. Where is it, who's there, and what makes you a good representative of it?
Well, 3rd District it's a weird district. It's very weird shaped. It goes from Cedar Bluff to up northeast down Middlebrook and Western, and ends between Carnes and Lonsdale.
Okay.
Covers a lot of space.
Definitely,
so you've got a lot of different groups of people. You've got, again, Cedar Bluff area, West Knoxville, which is actually one of the communities I live in, is growing. It's got some vibrant things happening, but at the same time, we're seeing businesses that don't have anything in them. We're seeing things that, we're seeing businesses come, but sometimes they're not lasting. We need to help support that. You've got some areas north of Knoxville that are not getting represented as much as Cedar Bluff. I want to see all of the district, the entire thing, whether it's friends or family of mine that live a little bit north of me but still in my district. They need to have the same representation as Cedar Bluff does.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned wanting to bring some progressive voice to some of the issues that are out there in your district and to the county commission. So what are some of the most important issues that are driving your decision to seek this office? And just define a little bit about those. Tell us why they're important to you.
Some of the things, or actually most of the things that I know that I will be paying attention to and hopefully making a difference in, some of the top ones. One I will say is making sure that our schools have the opportunities that are specific to those individual schools' needs. Not all schools need the same things. But we need to make sure that the students that are possibly going to lose funding at Cedar Bluff Elementary in my district with Project Grad, thank you, Vivian, for doing the great job you've done on that. Those things need to be supported. Why are we losing possible progress in education with our students if we're not going to support them? There are other students at Bearden. Bearden's an example that have lost programs that had people go through. A friend of mine, her husband went to that school, was in a drafting program, and went with TVA, got a great job, very good person. People are not having that opportunity now. Right. It's making sure that we bring back programs that worked, make sure that we're supporting programs that do work, and making sure that the programs per individual schools are working the way they need to. That's just education. Right. You've got infrastructure of safety and security of our roads, our public facilities. I live very close to a greenway. I love going on the road on the greenway with my dogs, with friends. But there are times that I don't feel safe personally going down because you can't see. There's a street right off of Gallagher by Walmart that I've lived in West Knoxville for several years now, never had any lights, nothing done about that. If you want the sidewalk that is there to be usable, needs to be accessible.
Right.
Affordable housing is another. I've worked for companies that bring people in, developments for apartments. I'm a current house owner. I know that we need affordable housing to be looked at, reviewed, processed, make sure that we are doing the best things we can to make sure that that is available for people.
Right.
That it keeps people here in Knoxville,
Yeah.
or brings them back if they go off to school and come back, or they come here to work. Some great company we bring into Knoxville hires somebody, they come here, they stay here.
And that's been a benefit, or a kind of a selling point of Knox County in the past, is that our living costs are low, especially compared to some of our neighbors. Nashville's cost of living skyrocketing. Asheville, Chattanooga, even also on the rise. Knoxville is maybe a little bit on the rise too, but it seems like we're in a moment where we can, due to our planning, kind of keep this under control and keep it a livable city for people of all income levels. So. It seems like that the community is getting a lot more aware of that. So, so what do you see as the pockets of affordable housing where it really is a key issue to people in the 3rd district?
Well, so I was going to use an example that's not in my district, but I'll speak to that first.
Sure.
One example is in the Powell Halls area right now. Copeland Farms is going through some issues where the community is telling the elected officials what they want, what they need, what's going to affect them. They're saying they don't want 5 houses per acre. They don't want they want something that's sustainable, something that's livable, that's not going to mess their infrastructure up. That's just one example of people that need a voice, people that they're getting almost overnight. I'll say the Facebook group for the Copeland Farms folks grew overnight. It was amazing to see how many people came together to support, no matter what side of the street they lived on, and said, this is not what we want for our community. I think the elected officials somewhat listened, but we have to be able to actually make a difference in what we're saying, not just doing and saying we're going to listen. Oh, okay, well, we'll move it down to 3 or 3.5.
Right.
That's still not what they wanted.
Yeah.
How can we make it viable for them to want it if that's the way we're going to vote? If we're going to vote that way, and we need to be able to support it and say, this is why, and this is what I think the vision for it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay. And I noticed that in some online videos I think that I've seen, you mentioned this about being directly connected to your constituents and hearing them out. And that seems to be, one of the running things of your platform here, and something that's very important to you. So do you have any specifics about how you will conduct your time in office, if elected, about keeping in touch with your voters, making sure that people know that you're approachable, that they can get their message across to you, and that they'll be heard?
Easily. There's so many ways, new ways that people can get in touch with people nowadays. For people to say that there's a lack of communication means that there's an issue at the core of the individual. I have the social media platforms. I have email. I have a home address that I openly give out. I will be happy to listen, talk to, meet with. Again, I'll say any person on any side of the street of my neighborhood, my community, the community of Knox County, whether they are in 3rd, 5th. I'm not running at large, but I have a focus for the 3rd district. I want to see it progress. I think I can do that with my character. Martin Luther King said that you measure a man by the content of his character. I think the content of my character will definitely bring a difference to the community, to the positions and elected officials we have on county commission. We've constantly gone back and done the same thing. What is it? Insanity.
Is repeating the same thing, expecting a different result.
We continue to elect the same officials that continue to do the same thing. We're not changing it. We're not looking at new opportunities, new ideas. We're not giving somebody a new choice. And that's what I think I bring to the table. I grew up in a conservative background, north of Nashville, the growing city of Nashville, in Robertson County. very conservative, and I couldn't love the people I grew up around more than
I'm familiar with
anything.
Robertson County. I've got some great friends that live up there. So
It's a great city. It's a great county, but my background with that aspect allows me to listen, I think, a little bit better. Whether they're, I don't tend to look at I don't tend to look at the skin color. I don't look at religious beliefs. I want to know the content of the character and of the people that I'm representing.
So, do you find that, having grown up in that situation, Robertson County, fairly rural area, as you said, fairly conservative as well. I can identify with a lot of that. I've got a similar background myself. Do you find that that helps you to relate to other people when you've, and of course now you live in a city, and we're not Manhattan or anything, but we're a city, and we have an urban character to Knoxville, but we have a lot of those traditional rural roots, I think, with our residents here, and traditional, sort of backgrounds and conservative values that may go along with that. Do you think how do you think that plays into your candidacy and how you will perform as a county commissioner, having that background, but navigating some of the other concerns of people from completely different backgrounds?
Well, I think it's beneficial on my behalf. I mean, I'm very happy to be inclusive to all people. I don't care about whether they have a certain letter by their name when they go into the voting booth. Hopefully, as long as they vote for me. But it's part of listening to my family, learning what my family's values are, and my family's values are not wrong. They might be different than my own, but that's their values.
Right.
We can defer on certain issues, but at the same time, being able to come together and get past it, or just talk things through and be able to say we're not going to agree. We just won't. It's again been very beneficial.
Yeah.
There are some family members that have become better friends because of disagreements, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So you have to take each relationship that you make, whether it be friends, family, or in politics, and grow that relationship, no matter what side they're based off of.
Right.
So,
do you find that that's going to be particularly more difficult now in an era of, shall we say, increasing political incivility, where that seems to have trickled down from Washington into even local politics at times in this day and age? How do what can you put in place to actually stem that tide, to actually be able to reach across demographic or political divides with people to find beneficial compromises for people?
I guess in a way you could say just being upfront. I mean, when you listen and you do not agree, being upfront about it makes a big difference. Whether that's in business or personal life, being upfront always makes a difference as to how to start a conversation,
Right.
How to continue a conversation, and get those different viewpoints across. We need more discourse. We need to be able to debate openly together and make the change that we want to say we will represent, and hopefully others will work together with me when I win and make a difference.
Okay.
So
along those lines of being forthright and open and transparent, there have been several recent scandals surrounding county commissioners lately. We have had one recent one involving ethics violation accusations against current county commissioners Charles Bustler and Bob Thomas. Those allegations centered around accepting a $500 gift card at a golf tournament from an ambulance service provider prior to a vote on Knox County's ambulance contracts. We would note that Bob Thomas, Commissioner Thomas, is also running for county mayor. Even former county commissioner R. Larry Smith, a Republican county commission candidate for the at-large seat 11, has been accused of sexual battery in 2017. which he's denying. All these folks deny these charges and allegations. But it's safe to say that Knox County residents don't like this kind of controversy getting in the way of County Commission's job. What will you do to ensure to Knox County voters that they can trust you in this position and that you will maintain the integrity of this office?
I'll throw my professional experience in there to say that I have been very fortunate and blessed to have some mentors in my life that have taught me the right way to do things. And it's not yes or no, it's not right or wrong, left or right. It's thinking of it ethically, thinking of is this right or is this going to help someone else? A gift card at a golf tournament. I know nothing about any of that other than why do I need to accept a gift card if I'm at an event? For certain reasons, I don't know what the background was with that, so I can't really answer to that. But $500 or I think the limit now is $50 that they upped the ante to. What's that being used for? Is it being used personally? Is it being used to give back? If you're there for a charity event, personally, ethically, my gut instinct is to find a charity that goes to or give it back. So it's finding the right way to handle those situations.
Right.
I've helped run some hotels in Knoxville. I'm fortunate to be part of a hotel group that manages several Hamptons, manages a Country Inn and Suites. I have worked at one of their properties as a general manager for several years. It's a multi-million-dollar property. I've made good decisions. I've made some bad decisions. Any business owner or manager would tell you that. But I've always come back from anything, whether it's positive or negative. I've got an experience of helping people in that aspect do the same thing. It's about learning and growing.
Yeah.
Ethics has been inbred in me to just be a better person, be the person that other people think you are.
Yeah.
It's who are you when people are not looking or when mom and dad's not looking.
Exactly.
That's how I will approach everything.
Yeah.
I need to know that other people would believe in how I'm going to act, how I am going to represent them, what's best for them, what's best for me to be for them.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of what the concerns are among the community and among the officials in Knox County as well. That it wasn't so much that they benefited from that; it's that this may have been an influence on their vote, and that's. I know that I, as a voter, am most concerned about that part of it. I don't want to know that anyone that's supposed to be representing the entire county's interest is basically up for sale. So, I mean, how would you address that with voters about where where that kind of influence is met, or how that kind of influence is met by you when it's almost a guarantee that you will be attempted to be influenced by certain things within any position of power. So how will the voters know that you're on their side and not a special interest?
My question to anyone trying to influence me in a way, as long as I'm aware that that's what's going on, what have you done to influence the community first? Before you come to me, I will call you out on influence. And hopefully if I don't see it, someone else will call me out on it. I'm never going to say that I won't see it, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to accept it. That's influence for me should come from me to the other county commissioners, to the other people that are going to make a vote, that are going to make a difference, not from the people that are trying to buy me. It's what are we doing for our community? How are we influencing the community through the developers, through homeowners associations? It's not just saying you won't take the money. I mean, for lack of anything else.
Right. Okay. So your opponent in the general election is a Republican and the current chairman of the county commission. He's an incumbent, and this is your first foray into elected office. What sets you apart from the current District 3 commissioner, and what makes you the best person for this job?
What sets me apart is I'm just a new voice. I'm standing up for my community. I am being vocal. I'm being transparent. I will be accountable. I am going to be different in the aspect of being an open book and showing that this is not influencing me. I am here for you. I've been able to say that I've helped a lot of people in my professional career as well, and know that I'm making a difference, so I'm going to continue that. Okay. And again, it's not insane to want to do something new.
Right.
It's insane to keep the old in.
Yeah.
It's time to make a difference.
Okay. So when you're on commission, you're 1 out of 11, and you also have a lot of close interaction with the county mayor, who will also be newly elected this year. So several of these people won't be Democrats. How do you plan to be an effective voice in swaying voting members towards the decisions that you feel represent best Knox County's residents? You know, how do you see yourself building the necessary relationships to get that done?
I want to foster a relationship with everyone that I come in contact with that's going to have influence over the people, whether it be state, city, county, elected official. And I'm excited to do that too, to be the new voice and show that, you know, a millennial can make a difference. And some of us are hardworking. Some of us have the ability to listen without closed ears. Right. and actually put some words behind it and some actions and show up, be accountable. And like I said, listen and be available to reach out to at any time. Relationships with my family are often hard, and we've mentioned that. It will be hard in the future. You can't be very lackluster and not accept that. It's, again, getting past the letter. And we're never going to be able to do that unless we talk openly about it and debate openly and make each other feel comfortable enough to talk more.
Right.
I mean, we've lost that ability, I believe, and I think I'll be able to bring that to the table again.
Okay, great. So regarding the sheriff, well, we have a sheriff that's going to be decided in this primary, actually. So while this position is quite autonomous, and according to some, lacking in oversight and accountability from even the county commission, is there anything that you feel that a county commissioner or the county commission as a whole can do to influence or interact with the sheriff's exercise of power? I mean, the issues that we're going to be facing with some of the biggest issues that the county faces are issues relating to the sheriff's department, the officers, and in the county jail. So is there anything that you think could maybe change there, be improved about those relations with the county commission to the sheriff, or even oversight and influence on the sheriff's power?
I think that the relationship between county commission and the sheriff's office, any relationship, can always get better. I actually do look forward to the sheriff's office being filled. There's a certain candidate out there that I've heard very progressive views on, and has acknowledged some of our biggest issues of the county, whether it be city or county issues, and be the opioid crisis or violence in certain neighborhoods. I've heard good things, and that's going to go back to that last question of fostering a relationship with new upcoming elected officials and making sure that we're all on the same page. What do the neighborhoods need? Are we giving them enough support? I mean, part of this, and we can tie it into that, saying, are we listening to the police officers? Are we listening to the people that say they're keeping us safe and secure? Are we providing them with the needs that they need?
Right. Okay. And there are so many issues. We could be here all day talking about the issues that involve county commission, but are there any particularly underappreciated or misunderstood issues that you would like people to consider when voting for county commission? And what are they, and if you can identify any, or what particular things might you do about them?
Well, I've, for the most part, covered a few of them. I mean, education, The project grad situation, I'm very paying attention to on daily updates.
And I think that's definitely one there. A lot of people aren't particularly aware, or haven't been before this recent
I was not
issue about it with the school funding. What does that mean to people on the ground level?
Well, when you have children that are literally stepping up to state, I have an issue, I cannot learn, I am not learning, then we've got an issue at the core of what our educational system's doing. Have we reviewed our documents enough? I mean, where have we looked at where money's going here and there enough? I mean, I know we need to review budgets. I know that I think the county commission did, or the school board, I'm sorry, did a great job of saying we're going to hold off on this vote until we look and make sure we have the appropriate funds. Those are the ways that we're going to get things done, and we're going to change things. We're going to make things progressive for these students and make sure we're offering what we need.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, Cody, we've got just a few minutes here left. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the voters of Knox County?
I look forward to meeting you, I hope. I look forward to listening. I look forward to hearing what your concerns are for the district, for Knox County, not just District 3. I hope that I can have the opportunity to make a difference for you. I look forward to speaking to others on your behalf, and if you need me, I'm a phone call, email, text away, and I hope to represent you in Knox County.
All right, well, Cody, thank you so much for being in here with us today. We really appreciate it. Great luck on the campaign trail. You'll be up in the general election on that is in August.
August 2nd.
Right, August 2nd. And election day is May 1st for, voting day is May 1st for this primary, and we have probably just a few hours left of early voting if people want to get out there and try that.
Yeah, you only a couple hours left. Go pull a Democratic ticket.
Right, which is another important issue. We encourage people to vote on that Democratic primary, no matter what the races look like, because it builds support for our Democratic candidates.
It helps our future know that they can run.
Exactly.
If they are on or want to run on a Democratic ticket, to not pull a Democratic ticket is literally saying to the future, don't worry about it, we won't support you, we only want to do this. And I don't believe anybody truly means that, but that's what it does. And knowing that there are people pulling Democratic tickets saying, no, I want to see this type of progressive movement, I want to see these progressive ideas, and I want these types of voices to represent me, we need more of it. So.
Well said, I agree.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for watching DTV. I'm Michael Davis, and we'll see you next time.